All right. Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And it's the brother Quara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And I want to go into another lesson, the Lord willing, to do be edifying. And it was something I was thinking about this morning, and it's a particular verse in Amos, the 3rd chapter. And we'll go ahead and get it in a few. And it goes into, how the lion have roared. I'm paraphrasing, and who won't fear that? And it says, and the Lord have spoken, and who can but prophesy? You see? And the Lord is definitely speaking in the times that we living in, man. And how the Lord speak? By the things that he do in the earth. Like I said in 2nd Ezra 9, I might get that in a few. But 2nd Ezra 9, when we see these things come to pass that the Lord said, no, it is the same time that the Lord is beginning to visit the world that he created. The Lord is speaking. The word is speaking, man. It's happening. You see, everything that the Bible say would be going on in the last days, we literally see that playing out in our lifetime, man, in real lifetime. And the thing is that with all the things that we see, with all the events that's taking place or building up to more events, how could you not want to prophesy, right? How could you not want to speak on these things? How could you not have nothing to say? You see, it's so much to say, it's so much to talk about in these times that we're living in. How could you not want to speak on it, man? Especially if you're an Israelite, a able-bodied Israelite man, able to do this work, how could you not want to do this? And when you really think about it, we telling these people the future. We telling these people what's to come. We telling these people what's to come. And in doing this, we could be spared ourselves. How could you not want to prophesy? How could you not want to do this work? And see, the Wadi Yahweh Shai Shai that he allowed us to do this work, to be locked in, to be focused, to be in season, out of season, even before things was taking place as it is now. Which you would need faith to do that. The apostles, bishops, elders, and brothers been doing this work, been on fire for prophesying, been on fire for the ministry, even before things was wasn't as hot as it is now, right? But how much more now as more things are taking place and we that much more closer to the end? Jacob's trouble is right here. The MOTB is talked about on mainstream media. World War III, the missiles and the silos, right? We ain't got to wait on them to be made. Everybody ready to lose their mind is right here, man. How could you not speak about it? Let's get this first real quick, though. In Amos 3. I might get another translation too, but it's Amos 3, and I'm gonna get straight to the point. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read the point first, and then I'm gonna start up, and we're gonna read back down. It's Amos 3 and 8, because this the verse. It says, "And the lion have roared, and who will not fear?" And we're gonna read up, because the Lord was making a point to get to this point, that things don't happen by chance, right? That things don't happen by chance. And it's going to make the point is to the point that if we seeing these things taking place on the earth, guess what? That ain't just by no chance or coincidence. No, judgment is here, man. Everything have a purpose to why it's happening. So if the prophet's on the street speaking, guess what? It's a purpose and a reason for it, because things about to happen. Let's go ahead and get this verse real quick, and we'll go back up and read down. Amos 3 and 8, it says, "The lion have roared, and who will not fear? The Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, have spoken, and who can but prophesy?" Let me get the KJV version, NLT version as well. Right? So let's go back up. Let's start at 4. Amos 3 and 4. In the NLT, it says, "Does a lion ever roar in a thicket without first finding a victim?" Right. We ain't gonna see a lion just randomly roaring in a jungle just cause, just to hear himself. No, it's a purpose and a reason he gonna roar when he see a victim, when he see prey. It says, next, does a young lion growl in his den without first catching his prey? That's a question mark again. It says, and does a bird ever get caught in a trap that has no bait? And the answer is no. If you don't have no bait in that trap, what's going to attract the bird to the trap? You see? So a bird ain't just going to get caught in a trap without bait. It says, and does a trap spring shut when there's nothing to catch? No. You know the old school mouse traps, you put cheese on it, and then when the mouse come in, it smash them. Right. If it says, does a trap spring shut when there's nothing to catch? It ain't gonna spring shut if nothing on it. You see how? So the Lord making a point. You don't have things happen just for no reason. You see? It's gonna be a purpose behind everything. Let's keep reading. It says, and when the ram's horn blows a warning, shouldn't the people be alarmed? Right? You go back into the ancient city, you'll have watchmen on the high tower. And if they see danger coming, what they'll do, they'll blow that horn. You see the watchmen will blow that horn and give warning to the people to prepare or flee. So the point is, if you hear that watchman horns blow, who ain't gonna get a little scared? Who ain't gonna get a little nervous? Because they see something you don't see. Right? It says, and does disaster come to a city unless Yahweh has planned it? Indeed, the sovereign Lord never does anything until he reveals his plans to his servants, the prophets. And the lion has roared, so who isn't afraid? The Lord Yahweh have spoken, so who can refuse to proclaim his message? The Lord spoke. So now that we see, again, it went into a whole bunch of things that don't just happen by chance. It don't happen by coincidence. There's a reason it's happening. You see? So the point is, the Lord said he don't do nothing until he reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Well, look, things have been revealed and it's happening in the earth. And if you consider, if we consider ourselves prophets, and one, that the message have been revealed to us, and two, we seen it play out, how can you not speak on it? Come on, man. How can you not speak on it? How can you not talk about the current events? If you an Israelite man and you see what's going on and you understand this truth, how could you not post a lesson, right? How could you not go to camp? How could you not even get a quick hit in? How could you not warn nobody about the things that you found out? You see? With all the things taking place, how could we not speak on these things, man? And it's a great service that the Lord have blessed us to be able to do. You know, this ain't no, like the scripture says about the laws, is not grievous, right? This ministry is not grievous either. Doing the work is not grievous either. In my opinion, when you get a lesson in, that's like a relief. You know, it's like relief. You know, it's like, weight off your shoulders. It's like you did something that was worth it. And we ultimately understand it's going to pay off. I feel better when I get a lesson in. Right? I feel better when I get a lesson. I feel better when I get some reading in, so on and so forth. I feel like I'm doing something meaningful with my time when I'm looking up articles and news and things that's going on. Right. With all the events that the Lord is showing us and how loud he's speaking, how can we not talk about it? How can we not be excited about these things, man? Again, just look at what the Lord is doing for us as believers in these latter days that we're in. By proving to us that his word is true, how can we not be excited, man? Again, going back to the verse, and I woke up thinking about this. Who can but prophesy? That's how I said in the KJV, but in the NLT it says, so who can refuse to proclaim his message? How can you sit on this talent? You go into the parable of the talents, which Yahweh Shai, and you had that one man who sat on his talent. And the Lord said, what the fuck? Right? The Lord said, what you doing? You see? He said, what you doing? You knew I was coming back and you ain't do nothing. You ain't say nothing. He said, then the Lord said, take what this man got and give it to somebody else. Cast this unprofitable servant into outer darkness. Go ahead and judge him. And Salakia, it just started raining too, so if y'all had some background noise, But go ahead and judge him. Why? Because this servant had opportunity and time, and he knew my secrets. He knew my will and he didn't tell nobody. Go ahead and destroy him. Right. That goes along the lines of how can you not want to prophesy? Look at what we know. How can we not want to speak on this, man? Let me get this real quick. Woe unto me if let's get that. This 1 Corinthians 9:16. Right? 1 Corinthians 9:16, KJV, it says, for though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid upon me. Right? This is necessary that we do. Right? Because think about it. We fight for our own salvation. By us speaking his word, by us prophesying, we saving our own life. Come on, man. We saving our own life. But if we don't, now what? Let's read it. It says, for though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of, for necessity is laid upon me. Here it is. And woe unto me, right? If I preach not the gospel. For a man to find his truth out and you don't do nothing with it, man, destruction to that man. For the Lord to reveal and open up our mind to understand his will, and we don't do nothing with that. Come on, man. That's worthy of destruction. How can we not want to talk about this? Seeing the oppressor Esau Edom is on his last leg, and he almost out of here. Everything that we hope for and want to happen is literally playing out. How could you not talk about this, man? You see? So again, going forward, because that was some, even I was kind of meditating on yesterday. So like I'm getting a little excited, but even meditating on yesterday, although it's a lot of shit we don't want to do in this world, right? It's a lot of things that aggravate us, people, in the world that aggravate us. We really hate this world, hate the people in it. It's a lot of things to be aggravated and mad about, right? That we go through on our day to day. But though it is a lot of things we could be mad and aggravated about, man, there's so many more things that the Lord have blessed us with, that our excitement for this truth, right? Our zeal for this truth, our appreciation for this truth should override our anger for the world. The excitement for this truth and the things that's happening in the spirit should override our anger that we have towards this world, man. Again, what we want to happen is playing out. How could we not be excited and talk about this, man? But I'm going to end it right there. That was, was on my spirit. I'm going to end it right there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. But again, man, we're in some exciting times. Yahweh Shai said many prophets, many righteous men, many forefathers wanted to see the things that we see and have not seen them. But we here to witness these things. How can we not talk about it? You think about the prophets of old, they wasn't even in the time that we in. They was 1,000 years, some of them, thousands of years before Yahweh Shai coming. Some of them was hundreds of years before Yahweh, thousands of years before Yahweh Shai. I'm talking about this coming we in. Think about our forefather Abraham. He was thousands of years before the kingdom was going to come. The point is, these men, our forefathers, the prophets, though they was so far away from where we at now, they was still talking about it. They was still proclaiming it. They was still excited about it. Look up and see where we at. We in 2026 AD. We could be a year, months, right? 2 years, literally from Yahweh Shai coming. How can you not speak about it now if our forefathers been talking about it since the world began and they wasn't even close to it? We here, and how can you be quiet now? Come on, man. Come on, man. You see? But hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Chakwadash,